Riyad Mahrez. That's a screw up. So even if Aguero is off, I saying that Mahrez is a better penalty taker than David Silva, than Gabriel Jesus, than Bernardo Silva. Because it was so funny, before he actually took to the penalty, he actually saw all of his misses and so you're giving the penalty to a guy who I think it's like 2-2 or like 3-2 of his last 5 or 4 penalties, which is madness. See, for Liverpool, it's weird because Liverpool have done a flip. Was what I was saying to the banter guys. They've done a flip. Last season, their attack was amazing, and the defense was what let them down. As of right now, the defense is amazing, and what has let them down is really their attack. So, I think that Storage should have started. Let's be real, Storage really should have been the guy that started because it's not working. The front three isn't working. They're just not really communicating and as being effective as they used to be, because trust me, the front three last season would have given that City defense some issues, and you're just seeing that that's second nature that they had, that kind of telepathic understanding they had to really open up and exploit the space, because City are not a defensive team. They will give you space. So Liverpool had the space to exploit, but they were unable to do so because the team just isn't as effective as they normally are. So you just hear City for Klopp, like, why won't you start Storage? Okay, fair enough. For me, I said Storage for Salah, but then looking at it right now, it wouldn't have made it would not have made sense structure-wise. So why didn't you roll with Storage, Mane, and Salah? So give Storage like 50, 60 minutes, and if it doesn't work, you bring on Firmino. But Storage has done enough to warrant a start, and that front three of Firmino, Mane, and Salah just has not been popping off. With regards to City, Mahrez should not have started. You know, this was a game that was built, especially how tight the game was and how well Liverpool defended. This game was built primarily for Sané. Like, Sané was built for this game. Like, how Leroy Sané did not start this game, it does not make any sense, because when a game is this tight, you need a dribbler. You need somebody who's going to beat him. I need somebody who is going to stand the man up and try and get past him and to create the space. So City looking for that decisive critical pass, it just was not working out. So you need a different tact. So you need an individual to try and do something individualistic to try and open up something in what was a very tight game, because Liverpool defended City very well and City were not really able to get any openings. In the first half, they didn't have a shot on target. So in the second half, they definitely played a lot better. Liverpool maybe tired down, maybe we're not concentrating as well. But, you know, like, for me, Sané, I think should actually have started. I still think that it was right to start with Aguero, but obviously Liverpool's defense plan works really well, and I think City just do not have enough ideas in midfield, and they were not as incisive and decisive as I thought that they would be. But back to Liverpool right now, and you say to yourself that what is wrong? Because the defense looks very good. Like, I was worried about having Lovren in that defense, but dude played it well. Right back, what's his name? Gomez at right back didn't work. He was very uncomfortable there, and I do not know why you put him out there. He did okay, but you can just feel like he's very uncomfortable playing in that position. I think he plays far better in the center, but the defense played really well. So what is the issue? And I think that looking at this Liverpool team, there was a sharpness in how they played last season, where the ball was moved quickly and effectively. The ball was moved quickly and effectively. I think Liverpool are still trying to play that way. They're still moving the ball. It is still pretty quick, but it's just not being effective. And I think that is why I just think that for Klopp, I think he's still very dogmatic, because I think he still believes that, wait a minute, this worked so well last season, it will work, don't worry, it will work, but it's not working. Obviously, you need to change the structure, maybe Because for me, looking at it as it right now, does Sadio Mane really walk out wide on that left? Because I'm looking at him wide on the left, and I'm like, is this really working? But then I now see how he plays for Senegal in a much more of a number 10 role. And I'm like, okay, it would be pretty interesting if you put in Mane in a number 10 role and see what he does there centrally. What will happen if you had Mane in a number 10 role and they have Salah and Sturridge both as the two strikers? Again, it's a different approach, something that makes Liverpool play differently, and then maybe give City different things to think about. Because as of Liverpool right now, it isn't working. It isn't working. That is a fact. It has not worked for the past 3-4 games, where the front three have not been as fluid as they have been last season. And I do not know why Klopp can't see this. And the danger is, which is my criticism of Klopp, is that does he not have a plan B? That's the issue. Does Klopp not have a plan B? So, but looking back to Man City right now is it too early to say that Mahrez is a bust? Is it too early to say he's a bust? Because I believe that he's a talented player, and I still feel like let's give him time. But the more and more I see it right now, and I see what Bernardo Silva does, I see what Sterling does, I see what Sané does. I'm not sure whether Mahrez can do what they do. I'm not sure that Mahrez really fits within what City want to do, because it just seems he's a bit lost. I think he did one good move in that second half, getting back on the byline, but I don't think he's in tune with how the football is being played. And that's what I think about Pep. Again, it would have been risky, but you say to yourself that judging by this game, looking at Liverpool, the defense was definitely their strongest part, and the attack just was not really getting anything done. And I think City's defense did really. I think Walker and Laporte had an amazing games. I mean, Laporte and Walker shut things down completely. Like, those guys were amazing, especially Laporte and Kyle Walker. They are, I think they were the two of the best players on the pitch. So when you look at that, Pep may have thought to himself, you know what? Let's be slightly risque. I'm gonna maybe bring on take off Mahrez, bring on Jesus, play two strikers, put more pressure on the defense, because City needed more bodies in attack to try and actually put more pressure on the defense, because the defense were dealing very well with them. So, but bringing on Jesus in there, who is like, all right, I'm all on my own, and I have to drill past Lovren. Lovren just kept on chopping up, tackling. But if Jesus had Aguero closer to him, then Jesus will know, all right, I can maybe play a one-so off of Aguero, or look for a through ball from Aguero, rather than trying to take on Lovren and Van Dijk by myself. That's something that could have been done. But I thought, what? Maybe this match showed that these are the two best teams, and these will be the two teams battling for the Premier League. But as I feel Liverpool are slowing down, I still think City are much more in the ascendant. And for me, I feel like City are still similar to what they were doing last season. But I think Liverpool have taken a slight dip. And I think for Klopp, he has to be brave enough to say, you know what, let me try out Shaqiri. Let me go to the training ground and say, you know what, let's try and freshen things up. Maybe guys have figured us out. And we need to try something different, because I'm happy that Klopp gave Sturridge 20 minutes, so he gave him more, so that let me give him a lot more time. But I think he flopped in the sense of that he should have started with Sturridge. He should have started with him and see what Sturridge can do from the start. Because Sturridge is a pure goal scorer, and I do think that Sadio Mane in a central number 10 role is something to think about. I think him being wide out on the left, he's just not doing things the way he was doing things last season. And I think, you always have to keep your mind open. As a manager, you always have to keep your mind open. You cannot restrict yourself. And the worst thing you can do is that worked last season. It's got to work this season. No. It will eventually, because we were so good last season. It has to work this season. That is the danger that you fall into. That you can almost be a victim of your own success. You have to be willing to take a step back and say, all right, I've got to now be creative now. I have to be creative. Let me alter things. Let me tweak things. Because again, I have to try and win. And I think sometimes winning games means you've got to make big decisions, bold decisions, and really move players around. But yeah, so all in all, I mean, for me, that dude of the game, I'll probably have to roll with. It's a tough one. I'd probably say Lovren. It's between Lovren or Van. But I'll pick Lovren, even if I feel like if he gave away a foul in that first half. I just felt that Lovren did really well coming into central defense where a lot of pressure would have been upon him. He made 2 amazing tackles, great blocks, and I thought that he really just sort of like held that line very well, especially in the second half, because again, Laporte could have been that dude, but I think because City raised their game in the second half and they actually put a lot more pressure, had a lot more chances, so therefore Liverpool had to do a lot more defending and Lovren had to do a lot more defending, and he did his job very, very well to restrict the amount of damage that City could have caused, and I think he really, really shut down Gabriel Jesus completely. Brick of the game, Mahrez. It's going to be Mahrez. Because I felt he didn't have that great a game. To begin with, he didn't have a great game to begin with. And you can't take, as a midfielder, and as a new guy coming in, first of all, as a new guy coming in and as a midfielder, you can't take the ball off of a striker and then miss. See, for me, I've got to put you under review. I'm not going to induct you, but I think you have to go under review. Like, you can't take the ball off of a striker, put the ball down in the penalty spot, and then miss said penalty. That's madness. That really is madness. You can't do that, So yeah, man. So with that being said, City, I still feel are the guys to beat. And looking at Liverpool right now, I think that City are probably going to win this title. I don't think that Liverpool have it in them to win this title. I think that this slump that they will in will last for a few more games. Then they will rise back up. But I just don't think that this team has enough to really go all the way, because I'm not sure whether Klopp will be able to make the major changes, the bold changes, in order to try and breathe some life into the team. I think he is far too loyal to a fault to his front three, and I think that could be his offsetting. But I think for Man City, Mahrez isn't it, and I think for Guardiola, Sané is your guy. Sané has to be a starter. He's too good. He's too talented, and I think he offers far too much more than Mahrez. Like, this kid is a dribbling sensation. He makes up ground. He scores goals. He assists. He can cross. He can make a good pass. He has good decision making. He's brave. He's courageous. He's fearless. You can't put that kid on that bench. He is too good to be on that bench. A young guy who's that talented, who's that courageous, you've got to give him games, and especially in a game of this magnitude, you start him. So I think it was a huge mistake for Guardiola not to start Sané in this game. I think because obviously, remember, he bought Mahrez, and I know, and managers love this. Managers are like, I bought him. I'm going to stand by him. I'm going to show why he's a right buy, because I'm sure he must be hearing that nah, this was a bad buy. So he wants to just justify his purchase of Mahrez, but it's going to bite you in the ass. Mahrez is the guy where, okay, League Cup or something like that, put him in there. In a game of this profile, Champions League, high-profile game against Liverpool, Arsenal, United, City, or against Arsenal, Tottenham, Chelsea, so forth, you got to start with Sané ahead of Mahrez, 100%. That's just how you've got to roll. But yeah, again, tell me, am I wrong? City are winning the Premier League title. It's it. I don't think any other team will be able to do or usurp them. Thank you for watching this video. Think about pledging and become a Half Football Hot patron. Pledge an amount each month and gain access to exclusive videos from your boy, the Football Hot, for more analysis. Peace.